Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja
Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunja Bihari Sri Chanda Balava Girivardhari Sri Chanda Balava Girivardhari Sri Chanda Balava Girivardhari Sri Chanda Balava Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Praja Janarandana Yashoda Nandana Praja Janarandana Jamuna Tira Vanata Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Somebody give me some water. Water?
No glass.
There's no cups?
No cups. Там у меня есть в комнате это самое, который я пустил. Вот там, где напиток стоит, там за одну парочку. Я бригады там glass for water.
Oh.
Там cup.
This is code. Okay. Okay, so Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we are reading today from the Srimad-bhagavatam 8th Canto, chapter 15, text. Since we don't really comment on the verses without purports, so the first verse that has a purport is number 28. It's about one purport in the whole chapter. So I think it'll be mostly reading. The chapter is called Bali Maharaj Conquers the Heavenly Planets. Okay, so this is the introduction. Okay, so I'll try to do one sentence at a time. This chapter describes how Bali, after performing the Vishvajit Yajna, received the benediction of a chariot and various kinds of paraphernalia for war with which to attack the King of heaven.
You can one paragraph you can read. I can translate. В этой главе повествуется о том, как Бали, совершив Вишва Чикьяги, получил колесницу и другие воинские атрибуты, которые потом использовал для нападения на царя Рая.
All the demigods, being afraid of him, left the heavenly planets and went far away, following the instructions of their guru.
И охваченные страхом полубоги последователи наставлению своего гуру покинули райские планеты, спасая бедствия.
Maharaj Parikshit wanted to understand how Lord Vamanadev, on the plea of taking 3 paces of land from Bali Maharaj, took everything from him and arrested him.
Царь Парикшит хотел узнать, как Господь Ваманадев, попросив Махараджа Бали, подарил ему 3 шага земли, лишив его всех владений и взял под стражу.
Shukadev Goswami responded to this inquiry with the following explanation.
Шукадева Госвами объяснил ему, что рассказывается в 11 главе этой песни: во время битвы между демонами и полубогами Бали потерпел поражение.
In the fight between the demons and the demigods, as described in the 11th chapter of this canto, Bali was defeated, and he died in the fight. But by the grace of Shukracharya, he regained his life.
Во время битвы между демонами и полубогами Бали потерпел поражение, но Шукрачарья вернул ему жизнь.
Thus he engaged himself in the service of Shukracharya, his spiritual master.
Поэтому он стал служить Шукрачарье как своему духовному учителю.
The descendants of Bhrigu, being pleased with him, engaged him in the Vishvajit Yagya.
Потомки Бригу, довольные Махараджа Бали, побудили его совершить Вишваджита Яги.
When this yagya was performed, from the fire of the yagya came a chariot, horses, a flag, a bow, armor, and 2 quivers of arrows.
Во время этой яги жертвенного огня появились колесницы, лошади, флаг, лук, доспехи и 2 колчана со стрелами.
Maharaj Prahlad, Bali Maharaj's grandfather, gave Bali an eternal garland of flowers, and Sukracharya gave him a conch shell.
Махараджа Прохладе Бали подарил ему неувядающую цветочную гирлянду, а Шукрачарья раковину.
Bali Maharaj, after offering obeisances to Prahlad, the Brahmanas and the spiritual master Sukracharya, equipped himself to fight with Indra and went to Indrapuri with his soldiers.
И когда Бали выразил почтение Прохладе, Браманам и своему духовному учителю Шукрачарье, Махараджа Бали нарядился на битву с Индрой и вместе с войском направился в Индрапур.
Blowing his conch shell, he attacked the outskirts of Indra's kingdom.
Протрубив раковину, он атаковал рубежи царства Индры.
When Indra saw Bali Maharaj's prowess, he went to his own spiritual master, Brihaspati, told him about Bali's strength, and inquired about his duty.
И когда Индра увидел могущество Бали, Махараджа Бали, он обратился к своему духовному учителю Брихаспати.
Brihaspati informed the demigods that because Bali had been endowed with extraordinary power by the Brahmanas, the demigods could not fight with him.
Он поведал ему о силе нападавших и спросил, как ему поступить в этой ситуации. Брихаспати открыл полубогам, что браманы наделили Бали сверхъестественной силой, поэтому они не могут противостоять ему.
Their only hope was to gain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Единственная их надежда – это милость Верховной Личности Бога.
Indeed, there was no alternative.
И нового выхода у них нет.
Under the circumstances, Brihaspati advised the demigods to leave the heavenly planets and keep themselves somewhere invisible.
Тем временем, по советам Брихаспати, полубогам следует покинуть райские планеты и скрыться.
The demigods followed his orders, and Bali Maharaj, along with his associates, gained the entire kingdom of Indra.
Полубоги последовали его приказу, Махараджа Бали вместе со своими приближенными завоевал все царство Индры.
The descendants of Bhrigu Muni, being very affectionate to their disciple, Bali Maharaj, engaged him in performing 100 Ashvamedhi yajnas.
Потомки Бригу Муни и из любви к Бали подвигли его на совершение жертвоприношения Швамедхи.
In this way, Bali enjoyed the opulences of the heavenly planets.
Так Махараджа Бали обрел возможность наслаждаться всеми богатствами планеты.
So, there are many verses here before we reach one with a translation, or with a purport rather. So I'll read them. I'll read the verse in English and
Здесь много стихов, которые без комментариев. Я сейчас их прочитаю.
Maharaj Parikshit inquired, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the proprietor of everything. Why did he beg 3 paces of land from Bali Maharaj like a poor man, and when he got the gift for which he had begged, why did he nonetheless arrest Bali Maharaj? I am very anxious to know the mystery of these contradictions. Yes. Yeah, let's do one verse at a time.
Maharaja Parikshit спросил, Верховный Господь владеет всем сущим, почему же он, словно нищий, попросил у Махараджа Бали 3 шага земли, почему, получив желаемое, он все-таки взял царя по стражу. Мне очень хочется проникнуть в тайну этих противоречий.
Verse 3. Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, when Bali Maharaj lost all his opulence and died in the fight, Sukracharya, a descendant of Bhrigu Muni, brought him back to life. Because of this, the great soul Bali Maharaj became a disciple of Sukracharya and began to serve him with great faith, offering everything he had.
Сказал, вот так, когда Махараджа Бали лишился всех своих богатств и был убит в сражении Шукрачаря, потом Бхриgu вернул его в жизнь, поэтому великий Махараджа Бали стал учеником Шукрачари и принялся служить ему с великой верой, отдавая учителю все, чем владел.
The Brahmana descendants of Bhrigu Muni were very pleased with Bali Maharaj, who desired to conquer the kingdom of Indra. Therefore, after purifying him and properly bathing him according to the regulative principles, they engaged him in performing the yajna known as Vishvajit. Translation.
Text number 4, yeah?
Yes.
Браманы, потомки Бхригу Муни, были очень довольны Махараджей Бали, желавшим завоевать царство Индры. Поэтому они, соблюдя все правила, провели над ним очистительный обряд, омыли его, затем помогли совершить ягью, именуемую.
Verse 5. When ghee, clarified butter, was offered in the fire of sacrifice, there appeared from the fire a celestial chariot, covered with gold and silk. There also appeared yellow horses like those of Indra, and a flag marked with a lion.
Когда ги и топленое масло было возлито в жертвенный огонь, из огня появились небесная колесница, покрытая золотом и шелком, а также золотистые кони, как у Индры, и флаг с изображением льва.
Verse 6, a gilded bow, 2 quivers of infallible arrows, and celestial armor also appeared. Bali Maharaja's grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj, offered Bali a garland of flowers that would never fade, and Shukracharya gave him a conch shell.
Текст 6. Вместе с ними появился позолоченный лук, 2 колчана рязящими из помоха стрелами и небесные доспехи. Дед царя Бали Махараджа Прохлада одарил его гирляндой из невидаемых цветов, а Шукрачарья пожаловал ему раковину.
Verse 7, when Bali Maharaj had thus performed the special ritualistic ceremony advised by the Brahmanas and had received by their grace the equipment for fighting, he circumambulated the Brahmanas and offered them obeisances. He also saluted Prahlad Maharaj and offered obeisances to him.
Совершив по совету браманов этот ритуал и получив по их милости все необходимое для сражения, Махараджа Бали обошел вокруг браманов и поклонился им. Потом он выразил почтение Махараджи Прохладе и позже поклонился ему.
Verses 8 and 9. Then, after getting on the chariot given by Sukracharya, Bali Maharaj, decorated with a nice garland, put protective armor on his body, equipped himself with a bow, and took up a sword and quiver of arrows. When he sat down on the seat of the chariot, his arms decorated with golden bangles, and his ears with sapphire earrings, he shone like a worshipable fire.
Тексты 8-9. Затем, зайдя на колесницу, полученную благодаря Шукрачаре, Махараджа Бали, украшенную гирляндой, облачился в доспехи, вооружился луком, взял меч и колчан со стрелами, золотыми браслетами на руках и сапфировыми серьгами в ушах. Он, восседавший на колеснице, сиянием походил на священный огонь.
When he assembled with his own soldiers and the demon chiefs, who were equal to him in strength, opulence, and beauty, they appeared as if they would swallow the sky and burn all directions with their vision. After thus gathering the demoniac soldiers, Bali Maharaj departed for the opulent kingdom of Indra. Indeed, he seemed to make the entire surface of the world tremble.
Он, все его войска и предводители этого войска, которые не уступали ему в силе, богатстве и красоте, вещи выглядели так, будто готовы были поглотить небо и испепелить взором своим. Собрав армию демонов, Махараджа Бали направился к роскошной столице Индры. Под поступи его войска, как будто подписался весь мир.
Text 12. King Indra's city was full of pleasing orchards and gardens, such as the Nandana garden. Because of the weight of the flowers, leaves, and fruits, the branches of the eternally existing trees were bending down. The gardens were visited by pairs of chirping birds and singing bees. The entire atmosphere was celestial.
Текст 12. В городе Индры было множество фруктовых садов и увеселительных парков, главными из которых были сады Нандана. Дети вечных деревьев в нем склонялись к земле, под тяжестью цветов, листьев и плодов. В нем парили, кружились щебечущие птицы и жужжали пчелы. Все вокруг было наполнено райским блаженством.
Verse 13. Beautiful women protected by the demigods sported in the gardens, which had lotus ponds full of swans, cranes, chakravakas, and ducks.
И текст 13. Красавицы, оберегаемые полубогами, резвились в садах, где было множество паривших лотосами прудов с лебедями, журавлями, чакраваками и птицами.
The city was surrounded by trenches full of Ganges water, known as Akasha Ganga. Huh?
How is possible the Ganga exists on 7 planets?
We'll get to that.
Текст 14. Город был окружен рвами, наполненный водой из Ганги, Акаша Ганги, и высокой крепостной стеной огненного цвета. Крепостная стена была оснащена площадками для воинов.
Okay, I lost track. Which verse did you just read? Is that 14? 14. Okay, so 15. The doors were made of solid gold plates, and the gates were of excellent marble. These were linked by various public roads. The entire city had been constructed by Vishvakarma.
Текст 15. Ворота были отлиты из золота, а порталы сделаны из отборного мрамора. От них начинались городские улицы и дороги. Весь город был творение Вишвакармы.
The city was full of courtyards, wide roads, assembly houses, and not less than 100 million airplanes. The crossroads were made of pearl, and there were sitting places made of diamond and coral.
Текст 16. В городе было великое множество площадей, широких улиц, залов и собраний и не меньше 100 миллионов воздушных кораблей. На перекрестках дорог, вымощенных жемчугом, стояли беседки из бриллиантов и кораллов.
There's 17. Everlastingly beautiful and youthful women who were dressed with clean garments glittered in the city like fires with flames. They all possessed the quality of Sham.
Вечно юные девы, облаченные в свежие одежды и блиставшие невероятной красотой, украшали собой улицы города, как праздничные огни, все они обладали качеством Шьяма.
Actually, there is a short purport here, as you see before. So read the purport and then maybe finish reading the rest of his translations. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti gives a hint of the quality of Shama women. Yeah. It says, Sanskrit verse, Sita Kali Bhave Ushma Kali Satishala Stano Sukatiko Yasmin Hashama Hari Kirtana.
Шрила Вишванат Чакраварти Такур, комментарий, 15 стиху, 17. Шрила Вишванат Чакраварти Такур поясняет, что значит качество женщины, называемой Шьямой, санскрит Шата Кали, Кали Вишна, Ушва Кали, Сушиталаха, Санал, Патинал, Ям, Сатшама, Парикиртинаха, Парикиртинаха. Женщину, чье тело зимой излучает тепло, а летом прохладу, и чьи груди называют Шьяма.
Okay, I didn't do that in English yet, but a woman, as part of the purport, a woman whose body is very warm during the winter and cool during the summer, and who generally has very firm breasts, is called Shama.
Prabhu, you want to translate Spanish?
Spanish?
No. I think you translate in one language at a time. Okay, so anyway, that's just a description of the kind of ladies there are on Lord Indra's planet. The body is warm during the winter and cool during the summer, and they have firm breasts, and they're called Shama.
Okay, that's later.
Okay.
Well, you can, if you want, you can make some
Yeah.
and some questions, and you can finish before I continue.
Yeah, because
I have also some questions.
okay. So we'll do some questions, and we'll go with 18 to maybe 28 tomorrow, where the next purport is. Okay.
Завтра мы продолжим читать с 18 по 28 стихи. Сегодня быстро поговорим и какие-то вопросы хотим задать.
Questions?
Какие-то вопросы?
Прости, пожалуйста, у них такие технологии, там летательные аппараты, очень много описано. И в то же время они сражаются колесницы, луки, стрелы. Ну, не какое-то там оружие у них мощное, продвинутое, а вот такие вот лук, стрелы. Почему такое сочетание? И почему они используют такое оружие?
Yeah. Bows and arrows. Their bows and arrows are not ordinary bows and arrows.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know. It hasn't been described specifically the kind of bows and arrows they had. But it was, in the fourth canto, the description of Dhruva Maharaj, when he was fighting the Yakshas, because one Yaksha had killed his brother. Yakshas are a Yaksha killed the brother of Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj, to retaliate, he went and he was going to kill all the Yakshas. And he had bow and arrow, and from one bow, arrows just kept flying out. He was killing many Yakshas until he was requested by who? I don't remember. One of his superiors came and requested him, please stop. There was one Yaksha that killed your brother. You don't have to kill the whole Yaksha nation. I don't. I think it was one of who was the Manu who was in charge of them.
Один из ламов пришел, вроде так, и попросил Бали Махараджа, чтобы он не уничтожал, Гуру Махараджа не уничтожал, чтобы он остановился.
Yeah, I don't recall. Whatever Manu was present at that time.
В то время, какой ламу присутствовал, он уже попросил Гуру Махараджа.
So, oh, sorry. So, but anyway, the bows and arrows were not. They were not ordinary. And these were expert fighters too. They could very, very quickly put many arrows in their bow and shoot many at once. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that. These are special weapons. They're not just ordinary bow and arrow. And also they had other weapons. Weapons like weapons that can affect the weather. It makes it come down hard. Weapons like the Brahmastra. Brahmastra was basically like an atomic weapon. But it was not like our atomic bombs today. The ones today, you drop a bomb somewhere and you kill 1 million people at once, innocent people and everyone. But the Brahmastra, if you knew how to operate it, you could send it to one specific person only. You would not hurt anyone other than the person that you were trying to kill. And also, if you knew how to operate it, you could send it, and if you decide, no, I decided I better not, you could call it back. Like that. So there are many advanced weapons.
Thank you. А спроси еще, мы сейчас прочитали, что полубоги бежали со своих райских планет, а куда же они бежали, в какие места, куда? Куда они бежали?
Yeah. I don't know if it's said. Exactly, I don't know. But I know in another place in the Srimad-bhagavatam, Lord Indra himself, because he was. Let's see what had happened. He was being. He had some karma following him. I don't remember the details now. Some sinful reactions were. So he hid himself. And he was able to hide himself somehow in I think they call them reeds, out in the water somewhere. He was hidden. So I mean, demigods can many times can make themselves invisible too. Yeah, they can take on different kind of forms too. This is all part of being being at least a controlling demigod. These are all facilities you can get. No, I'm saying these are certain. There's things that can be done in the heavenly planets that we here are not capable of doing. There is just like a natural thing. Sometimes a demigod can, if they want, they can make themselves invisible. Nobody can see them.
But question is, if demigods each other can see, like when they are
Can see each other when they're invisible? I don't. I don't know. I cannot authoritatively answer that. I don't have the answer. I know when. Yeah, there was also an instance when Lord Indra was trying to get away from he had this is a whole other history, but King in Satyayuga, King Prithu appeared, and King Prithu was performing horse sacrifices. And these kind of sacrifices required a horse. A horse, yes. So King Prithu had, and to perform a horse sacrifice it required a lot of wealth. It was a very, very, very big endeavor. So wealth and qualified brahmanas. I don't know a lot of detail. All these details are not given. But the point was, and we can read about that. Well, I guess it's back in fourth canto. But previously, Lord Indra was the only one who had performed 100 horse sacrifices. He was famous for it in the universe. So King Prithu was performing those same sacrifices, And he had performed up to that point 99 of them.
И он уже совершил 99 подношений.
And he was about to perform, or he was preparing to perform the 100th one.
И он уже стал подготавливаться, приготовил все для жертвоприношения сотый раз.
And so when he was about to perform the 100th one, Lord Indra became very much disturbed.
И как беспокоился Индра тем, что кто-то еще может совершить столько жертвоприношений, как он.
Because Lord Indra was famous as the only one who had performed 100.
Только единственная Индра до этого он совершил столько жертвоприношений, 100 жертвоприношений.
So he was not going to tolerate King Prithu.
И он не мог терпеть, что кто-то еще сможет проявить столько жертвоприношений.
So he actually stole the horse.
И он украл, Индра украл Махараджа коня, жертвенного.
And when he was when he was rushing away
И он стал бежать.
with the horse, then King Prithu's son was started chasing after him.
И сын Кришны, он стал преследовать его. Через horse.
He was chasing, Indra was taking the horse. They were
И он стал преследовать.
disappearing somewhere. And then Indra, being afraid of getting caught by the son of the king, he did two things. First thing he did was he disguised himself as a sannyasi, as a saintly person.
И в один момент Индра, он так, чтобы избежать преследования, он переоделся как конец.
And with the hope that he would not attack a sannyasi.
И он надеялся, что никто не атакует конец.
But of course, he was not actually sannyasi.
Он на самом деле не был.
He had committed a crime, and he was just trying to get away.
Вот раньше
No, he stole the horse, horse thief.
он как украл коня, и вот это совершил такое нехороший поступок, воровство. И поэтому он надеялся скрыться как конец, но никто его не накажет.
So he kept changing and disguising himself as different kinds of saintly persons, hoping that the king's son would not attack him.
И он надеялся, что сын Махараджа не атакует.
But that actually didn't work. So then
На самом деле это не сработало.
he made himself invisible.
И когда он потом сделался невидимым,
So this is an ability that many times
это вот такие возможности у богов есть.
you can many times those on the heavenly planets can do this.
И на небесных планетах это очень часто встречается.
And also, this is just a side there, because Shobhod mentions it in the purport,
И мы сейчас упомянем в комментариях.
that because Lord, this is Satyuga, right there, but because Lord Indra did this, disguised himself as a saintly person, but was not engaged in saintly activities. Yeah.
Он выглядел как святой человек, но на самом деле он никогда не занимался священной жизнью.
So because he was externally acting or dressed as a sannyasi, but he was actually engaged in some criminal activity at the time.
И на самом деле Индра, он выглядел как саньяси, прикрывался одеждой саньяси, но он совершил криминальную деятельность, воровство коня.
So Srila Prabhupada says that because of that, that is the beginning of, we have this kind of problem today. That's where it actually started.
И на самом деле Прабхупада объяснил, что вот эта проблема, которая начинается сейчас, существует.
Srila Prabhupada says, or Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what's the verse? Whatever a great man does, common men follow in his footsteps. Whatever actually, how to say, whatever actually performs, other. I don't remember how the verse goes. Anyway, the point is, yes, if someone is considered to be great, then others will follow their example. So here, King Indra was the king of heaven. That's a pretty great position. So he did something not good, but because he's in a great position, then people use that to say, "Oh, Indra did this, and we will follow that example." Just like sometimes people try to say, "Oh, Lord Shiva, he's a great personality. I think I will imitate what he does." But of course, we are not Lord Shiva. We are not Lord Indra. Okay. Anyway, a couple of points. Other questions?
Ой, еще
Yeah.
Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj are in the verse, and they're both authorities, Mahajans, but they still on the demon society. How is it that they can stay there? How does that work?
It's like the family you're born in.
Okay.
Prahlad Maharaj was, of course, a very much pure devotee of Krishna, but he happened, by higher arrangement, Krishna's arrangement, he was born in a demon family. But he was not a demon, but he was born in a demon family. And in reality, Bali Maharaj was also not a demon in a sense. Yeah. But he was born in that family. He was the grandson of Prahlad. In fact, both of them, both Prahlad and Bali Maharaj are counted amongst the Mahajans, the great authorities of Vedic knowledge, because they're actually pure devotees of Krishna and very intelligent. But still, they appeared in this world in those kind of families. Sometimes it happens like that. And sometimes a demon might be born in a devotee family. I mean, among the early Prajapatis of the universe, there were two Your sisters, Diti and Aditi, and all the children of. You're right. Diti, Aditi. I think Aditi. I think all the children of Aditi were devotees of the Lord, and all the children of Diti were demons. Diti was the mother of the Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. You know, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, both brothers. She had quite a family. So her children were of one nature, and the other's children were of a different nature. But even though Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were of demoniac nature, their real identity it was as pure devotees, gatekeepers for Lord Vishnu, or in the spiritual world. Say it again. They were Jai and Vijay in the spiritual world. So Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, this is one of their births they took here. And really the reason they took birth was so they could fight with Krishna, because Krishna wanted to fight. Like that. You had a question about Ganges. Ganges is going to be on the heavenly planet, because what is the source of the Ganges? Not actually from his dome, but from. We'll read about it soon. Yeah, so we'll read about it. But when Lord Vamanadev appears before Bali Maharaj, then he takes those 3 steps of land. One step, he covered the whole planet. Second step, he reached his foot went to the edge, the end of the universe. And with that step, his toe poked a hole through the universe. And the causal ocean started coming in. Yeah. And that Ganga water is actually goes. We can't actually see it going from one planet to the other, but it's actually going from one planet to the other. And when it comes into the anyway, at some point, Lord Shiva is breaking the fall of that water on his head. You see pictures of Lord Shiva. Because otherwise, the Ganges water would smash everything.
Иначе оно бы разрушилось здесь, во Вселенной, на планете.
But that's how it's on different planets because it's being going down from one planet to the other from the causal illusion.
Да, из причинного океана она с одной планеты в другую там перетекает. But also questions there in heaven planet they mentioned was there like all their like roads and their like bus stop, those from jewelry, from gold and
Yeah.
in heaven planet no bad guys there, nobody stealing his
No, basically at that time, the demons were on one planet, devotees were on another planet.
в те времена демоны жили на одних планетах, а боги жили на других.
And especially
was one planet or many planets or demons.
where the demons have their planets, the lower planetary systems.
У них тоже там планетная система есть, где демонов тоже.
There are 14 levels of planetary systems.
Да, 14 планетных систем.
Earth is on number 7 level.
И Земля наша седьмой.
So above us, there are the heavenly planets. The sun, the moon, Mars, Venus. I'm not sure about all the others, but they're the ones who are higher up in the universe. They're heavenly planets. And the sun is definitely a heavenly planet. The moon, yeah, Venus. They're known by different names in the Vedas, but those planets, yes. And the Srimad-bhagavatam describes them by their Sanskrit names, so which I can't tell you all the names. But anyway, there's higher planets and there's lower planets. The lower planets are for the demons. The lower planets are where the hellish planets where one might be taken for suffering. People talk about, you go to heaven or you go to hell. And there is a hell, but it's not. At least when I was growing up, hell was supposed to be in the middle of the earth. But actually, there are other whole planets, whole hellish planets for that kind of suffering. Many, multiple planets. And all those planets, or I won't say all the planets, but many planets that where one might go for hellish suffering, they're described in the 5th canto of Srimad-bhagavatam. I think we are. Okay, so we'll have to end here for now. Tomorrow is it's Friday.
Friday.
So tomorrow we'll reach Prabhu with nectar. And